Homecoming night for Del Oro football as the Golden Eagles finish off the gauntlet of non-league schedule against St. Mary's of Stockton. The Rams coming in with a 3-1 record. Del Oro 2-2, but 0-2 against the Catholics. Would this one be any different after losing to De La Salle and Notre Dame of Sherman Oaks? Well, St. Mary's got off the board first, a 7-0 lead off a 1-yard touchdown run by Marcus Lomas. Put the Rams on the board first, but there's a nice catch by Theron Hereford from Michael Moore, and then Moore to Hereford again on the swing pass. This one gets Del Oro down to the 1-yard line. That sets up the first of 3 touchdowns for Dylan Cainrath. 1-yard run makes it 7-7 in the first quarter. Monster night for the senior running back for Del Oro, but we'll have more on that in just a little bit. St. Mary's, though, got back on the board, took a 14-7 lead on this quarterback keeper by Caleb Parrish, and it didn't take Del Oro long to respond. Dylan Cainrath, here's the end of a 61-yard touchdown run by the senior running back for Del Oro, ties it up at 14-14, 7:14 left in the half. That's what they would have going into halftime. Now check out the light show by the Del Oro Marching Band. Stadium lights turned off for the fantastic halftime show, and it was the Del Oro defense that was lights out in the second half. But that right there, Mason Humes field goal makes it 17-14. Here's Justin Burridge, midfield, interception for Del Oro. There's more on the defense as we come. Check out the big screen, fans loving the game in the second half. Travis Newman picks up a loose ball. Del Oro gets the ball right back. It was more defense than St. Mary's could handle in the second half. Del Oro pumped up, ready to go, leading 17-14. But here's Michael Moore with an interception by St. Mary's. They get the ball back at midfield, but it wasn't all for naught for the Del Oro defense as they force a 4th and long here in the fourth quarter. The ball falls incomplete once again. Del Oro defense pumped up. And then it's the man of the night, Dylan Cainrath this time, 57 yards to pay dirt. He had 211 yards on 30 carries and 3 touchdowns. This one makes it 24-14. That's the final. Del Oro 3-2. Great crowd on hand heading into SFL action. All right, Dylan, you're not healthy, but you're running like it tonight. 210 yards, 3 touchdowns. You got the ball 30 times, not including, your 3 catches tonight. How big was this for you?
Oh, it was huge, just coming off of that overtime win over Grant, we're getting ready for league and all these good games out of the way. Our league's one of the best leagues around that I know of, and it's really good for us.
You're a grinded out type of guy, but those 2 big long runs, especially the one to seal it with under 2 minutes left, how big was that for you individually to get those, into your repertoire this year?
It was huge. I hands down, there's no way I could have done without that O-line on that last touchdown. That was an ISO play. And A-gap on the strong side, it was a semi-diesel truck drive through that thing.
Non-league schedule's over. What do you think the guys learned out of it, first of all, now that you're heading into the SFL next week?
Well, I think one of the reasons we do our schedule the way we have is we want to get our guys in a lot of adverse situations, and I think the last 5 weeks we played some of the best talent in California. To start the way we did here, week 0, and have a big win with Logan with this tremendous crowd, and then going away for 2 weeks and getting beat and very humbled and facing a lot of adversity and some injuries. Come back these last 2 weeks and win a double overtime game against a great Grant team, and to beat a great St. Mary's team. 2 great teams, great game into the fourth quarter. I'm just real proud of our effort. You can't simulate this stuff in practice. You can't simulate unless you play the good teams. And I felt the last 2 weeks we have played big-time playoff games, league championship games, section title type of atmosphere. Our crowd is the best around. Amazing the turnout tonight and just the atmosphere and having them on our back really willed us there in the fourth quarter. Just real proud of our guys. Start league next week. Open up on the road at Wood Creek. They're all tough in league, especially now with a couple of our ex-coaches, Stowers brothers over there. I'm sure they're going to have their guys jacked up. They've been probably fired up since the day they took the job. So we know we're going to be in for a good test next week. So we're going to get better this week. We got to get better and start our march for the SFL title.
Dylan is your workhorse. 30 carries tonight for you, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns. But it's those 2 breakaways. That's part of his repertoire now. How big was that for you, and how big was he tonight?
They were amazing. You know, we run a lot of the outside zone, and kind of it grinds on you. You kind of find some. They did a great job of stopping it, and we felt, hey, we got to go right at them there. We kind of felt they were overplaying a little bit. We were fortunate to hit a couple gaps, and Dylan did a great job of making it happen.
Del Oro's on the road next week at Wood Creek to open up SFL action. And in Loomis, for the Auburn Journal, I'm Trevor Horn.